Hello, I'm Anne. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If I look like an utter mess, it's because I am today. Just a little hair flying everywhere. I went to get groceries this morning and then it started to absolutely pour. And so I got drenched. I got home and I had to do so much work. And then what happens? It gets super hot and muggy. And yes, so today has been all over the place for me. But I wanted to get a video out, and in the last couple weeks I was tagged by BookBuds to do this tag, and it's called Cover War Tag. Basically, it is where you pick an amount of books that you either want to read or you have recently read, and you judge their covers against each other. So you don't really look at the plot, you just base them on shallow covers. However, I wanted to do a little bit of my own twist on this, and I wanted to do to be read against I have already read. So I wanted to judge the books that I have read and the books I haven't read and see if I'm biased simply because I've liked and enjoyed the books that I've read versus I don't know that much about the books that I haven't read. So we'll see how evenly split it will be. So all the books on this side, at least for this round, will be on my TBR that I have not read, and all the ones on this side are books that I have read, and all of these I have enjoyed reading. The first two up against each other. Oh, this is interesting. So the first one is The White Mirror by Alice Hart, and this is Six Crows by Leigh Bardugo. They obviously have different styles. This one shows a, I guess, mountain range with mist, and you see a pagoda in the background there. You also see this girl in the forefront. It's a murder mystery. I haven't read it yet, but I've read the first book in the series. And then Six Crows is obviously much more, I guess, simple because it just has the clouds and then the crow's wing. However, I like both of these quite a lot. This font, this cover isn't all about just the picture on the cover. It's also about the font and how the title looks. This font definitely draws me to this book more because it's bright red, it's in cursive, so it draws me more to the book than this one because I feel like the white in the name as well as in the title, it doesn't really draw me to it. So I'm actually gonna go with Six of Crows for this one. Next one is Chinese Tales and Myths. I did actually successfully find it. This book I'm actually reading this month. And the other one is The Explorers Guild. Ooh, this one is tough because I've talked about how much I love The Explorers Guild. And I love this cover so much. It has so much detailing in it. It also has blue and gold. I just love like that blue color. However, this one is really cool too because it is obviously red and black. And these are actually two good ones to put against each other because they are just such beautiful books. But I feel horrible about this. I think I'm still gonna go with this one, the book that I've already read. This is the second one that I've already read, but I don't know, like this one is beautiful and I love it. But this one, if I saw them next to each other in a bookstore, I think I would go to this one first just because it does have that gold and that blue, and it also has a lot more going on, whereas this just has the pretty, I guess, decorations. And outside of that, it doesn't have as much interest as this does. Next one is Thrones and Dominions by Dorothy L. Sayers and Jill Patton Walsh. This is the unfinished novel of Lord Peter Wimsey that Sayers never published, but was published after her death and finished by Jill Patton Walsh. And this one is From Here to Eternity. And it is Traveling the World to Find a Good Death by Caitlin Doughty. She's a YouTuber, and I actually met her. This book is signed. This one's actually a good one, again, to pair off with each other because it's got all this like gold and shimmeriness. They're both really cool. This one is much more simplistic. It's just got the basic characters on the front. You see Lord Peter, you see Harriet Vane, and you see obviously the title, the authors. That's about it. When it comes to this one, again, you do have definitely more interest, but again, it still looks kind of Art Deco, and so does this. So they both have kind of similar styles. This obviously has the skull with blue eyes and blue decorations, and I don't know. I'm actually thinking of giving this to the TBR one, not because I think it's necessarily better, but because for this one, the pattern is a bit too gaudy for me. Like there's too much going on with the pattern here. Like I like the skull, I like the title and the author font, but like with all these things, I think I'm going to have to give it to this one, which is the first TBR win. Super, super excited about that. The next one is Ken Follett, Pillars of the Earth, which is a massive book. I need to get to it. And then this one is Arabian Nights. Oof. Again, this is a tough one to put against each other because they are both absolutely beautiful copies. This is one of my favorite copies I've ever seen for Arabian Nights. It looks very Middle Eastern, and I love the blue on gold. However, this one intrigues me. And this card, this tag for Oprah's Book Club, this does come off. So I just haven't taken the time to actually get it off. But I love the interest of, because it's called Pillars of the Earth, that is in like a inset of the page, and then the rest look like architecture drawings, and I really am intrigued by that. Hard to pick. I think I'm gonna have to go with Arabian Nights. I do love this one though, but I think Arabian Nights is clear. We have Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke and War and Peace by Tolstoy. I feel like this is actually going to be an easier pick because even though I do love this War and Peace, it's probably my favorite copy or one of my favorite copies of War and Peace. It's just absolutely beautiful with the red spine and the blue outside. I honestly think this cover intrigues me more. You have this creepy road, you have the bird in front, and then you have this absolutely beautiful font. I think the font is so much prettier on this one than on this one, even though this one is quite pretty. I'm gonna have to go with the To Be Read on this one. All right, and the last two. This one is the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and this one is The Lost City of Z. I talked about this in one of my recent tags, and I love this book. And I also haven't read this, but I love this cover. But I love this cover mostly because the font of the title is kind of being overshadowed with moss of the jungle and kind of being consumed by it. And I really love that idea. I also love the background of like this deep jungle accented by this white, pure font that just really stands out. That's why I love this cover. For this one, it's definitely a lot more going on, but you have traditional Tibetan, I think Buddhist figures. Again, like I really like both of these, but in fairness, because we did pick out 3 already read and only 2 read, I think I'm gonna go with this one. I think I like them equally, but this one to me, like I remember when I saw it at the Goodwill and picked it up, I was just really drawn to how beautiful this cover is, and as well as the spine. It's just so pretty. So yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. Now we're going on to round 2. We got Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke, and then we've got Arabian Nights. Oh, this is actually sad, but I think I'm going to go with Jonathan Strange. Even though I love this one, I think this one, if I saw it in a bookstore, intrigues me more because this one, again, it has a lot of designs on it, and that's about it. So we have Thrones and Dominions and the Explorers Guild. Oh, I've got to give this to the Explorers Guild. Like, I think this might be my top cover, or it will be at least in the final round because I love it so much. So yeah, between these two, I think I like this one better. All right, and then the last one we have is Tibetan Book of the Dead and 6 of Crows. It's hard because they are vastly different, so it's hard to compare 2 that are so different. But like personally, I think I prefer 6 of Crows better. All right, now we have 3 left, so we're just gonna put them against each other. So we've got Jonathan Strange and 6 of Crows. I love how they both have crows on them. That's actually funny. I didn't think of that when I picked it out, but I think I like these almost equal. I'm gonna have to go 6 of Crows. It sounds horrible. I'm surprised that 6 of Crows is so high up on my list, but it is a beautiful cover. So, and then the last one is 6 of Crows versus the Explorers Guild, and both of these I have read. So definitely the winners are my have read pile, and I have to give it to the Explorers Guild. I just have to. I feel bad because 6 of Crows is a beautiful cover, but just the way everything it's busy, but it's not too busy. I definitely struggled to pick between some of these because all of them are just so good. There's so many great covers of books in the world. And because I haven't seen as many booktubers do this tag, I don't feel as bad tagging people. However, I want to preface this by saying do not feel obligated in any sense to do this tag if you are tagged. So the first channel I am tagging is Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. The second channel is David Wiley, and the third channel is Lady Jane Books. All amazing channels, and I really enjoy watching all of their channels. So again, don't feel obligated to do this, but I really enjoyed doing this channel, and it definitely challenged me to decide superficially which books were the best. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, subscribe. I post every Saturday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a great week. Bye.